know that God's destination
باران از آسمان به سوی
come is
انسانها
descended on
فرود می‌آید
humans like
و
rain
بهره هر
drops,
کسی
and everyone's gain is little or more, it's to their destiny will be given to them. One, two, three, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Test broadcast. Test broadcast. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1. Testing 1. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
تبدیلی یک دلیلی باشه که این ریمایندر
What is the reason behind this reminder? Every year there is a lesson, there is a message that we have to gain and understand from this message. And why is it for only this Imam that they have 48-day Arba'in and not any other Imam? I was thirsty for this knowledge. I was seeking to understand and gain the knowledge. What my heart found, the classes and help of God and my trip to Karbala, I would like to share this with you with hope that this is a gift for Imam Hussein, even though it's not worthy of him, but his gift was greater to me with his movement.
Of appreciation due to the freedom he gifted me with his movement. This was what my intention was. و دلیلم برای بیان این مطلب اینجا این هستش که
My reasoning for making this statement is what is in my heart I wanted to share with you. First thing that I needed to understand, is there a message in this movement of Imam Hussein? In this movement of Imam Hussein, is there a real message for me? Is there a lesson for me? I had to learn this. Quran helped me a lot for me to understand. I came to this point of understanding. If the movement of Imam Hussein was a personal movement, if it was for his own sake, the entire movement was removed from the history, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in his book that everything is forgettable and will be gone except for God. If this is a historic event, and if it was a personality issue, if it is something about the position of an Imam and duty of Allah burdened him, then therefore it wasn't a personal movement, it became a sunnat of God. So if it is a sunnat of God, it has a message. It's supposed to stay in generations to come, in hearts of people. The sunnat of God is always there and it's permanent. And there, my first reason, that there is a message. My second reason I was seeking, if we know Imam Hussein as a complete human being that is infallible person, and he is innocent and free of any sins, then therefore all acts of Imam becomes to us a way of life to follow. Therefore, Imam's movement is purposeful and it has a message to it, because he has to be my role model. He has to move, so I learn from him. He becomes my speaking Quran. And through my Imam, I learn the movement. So through reading the book, I gain the knowledge. Through Imam, I learn how to implement the knowledge. My first lesson was, why every day is Ashura, why every land is Karbala. And I was researching this as a first step. What I gained. It's not a hadith.
بعضیا گفتن که حدیث هست از امام صادق علیه السلام
Some say it's a hadith from Imam Sadiq, but there is no linkage of proof that it is Imam Sadiq's words.
ولی خب pretty much
But
یه خلاصه ایست
pretty
از
much
این
it's a short and brief
یه برداشت خیلی
description
جالبی
of
هست
a
و
very
خیلی از درستی
comprehensive
از اینکه
philosophy.
بالاخره در هر زمینی
So a summary of a very comprehensive summary is every day is Ashura and every land is Karbala. And therefore, what was clear for me is that Imam Hussein's movement, it's not only for me as a Shia. It wasn't a movement only for the Shias. If I consider it that way, then I have limited Imam's movement. Imam's movement was so great and so large that the humanity benefited from it. Whether I'm Shia, Sunni, whether I'm a believer of the book, or I'm even atheist, it covers the entire humanity. It was very big of a movement that covers the entire history of every humanity. And the entire humanity is the audience of this movement. And the Prophet ﷺ says, Hussein is mine and I'm Hussein's. What does it mean? My prophecy, my core of prophecy with Hussein's movement will be kept alive. So my prophethood will be kept alive through his movement, through Hussein's movement. His movement is continuation of my prophecy. Now describing what is the limitation of the prophet based on Quran, the prophet, he was a blessing which is global. It consists of every human in every centuries and throughout the history, and prophets blessings upon was a blessing upon the entire humanity. And Rasulullah says, my prophecy will be alive with Hussein's movement. So Imam Hussein's movement is a global, is a universal movement for the entire humanity. So it's for people of today, tomorrow, and all the generations to come until the day of judgment, which benefits all the humans everywhere and every place and every timeline. Anybody with their own understanding can gain the knowledge that they need out of this movement. Kharazmi speaks in the Maqtal. Imam Hussein fought very hard in the battlefield. The enemy was already losing faith on how they're going to get rid of him. So what should we do? They decided that as a military tactic was to we have to create a psychological devastation on him, and by creating this devastation, psychological devastation, they can take a victory over Imam. So they attacked from the behind on the tents of the families of the Imam, And Imam replies to them, O believers of Abu Sufyan, if you are not even Muslim, at least, at the very minimum, be free. If you do not follow any of the God's ruling, if you do not believe in the judgment day, and you're not fearful of anything, at least in this world, live in this world with freedom. I have 6 items of what I have understood, would like to share with you, and I see the time is getting short, so I'm going to be summing up my speech, and I will just address 2 of them, or maybe 3 of them. Hopefully I can come one day and explain the rest of them. The next one is having belief. The element that will help a person to be victorious is to have faith and belief. In the second day of Ashura, people who came, Imam raised his hand of dua about people who broke their promises to Imam and said, "Oh God, you are my peace, you are my upraiser." Rab or upraiser doesn't want bad for Abd, and said, "You have always been my support in every devastation that I've had." When Imam was saying goodbye to his Ahl Bayt to go to the battlefield, remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is your protector and will save you from all the evils and will save you from the enemies, and you will return back to khair or benefit, or the return of you will be beneficial. When a human gets to the climax of this point, that to see I'm created here just to pray for God, he will come to understand, people will come to understand that humans and jinn are created just to pray to Allah. And when a person understands this concept, then that human will sacrifice everything he has for that specific target. In Islam, in our Allah subhanahu God expect us to do our duties. One, to understand our responsibilities. What are our responsibilities and liabilities? What God wants from us. And on that route, we have to put everything we have in that way to achieve our movement. Wherever we end up, we will end up. There is no loss for a moment. There is no loss for a moment. We are responsible to perform our duties and have faith to Allah, and the result is not important, you win or you lose. It is important about movement, going and following that goal that Allah set for us and put everything we have toward achieving that goal that Allah subhanahu has determined for us. And finally, at the end of the day, whatever we do, Allah subhanahu must put its approval seal on it. The fact that I'm listening, I'm moving, and I'm moving toward what Allah subhanallah's requirement, that's sufficient. First, I have to know what God wants from me. My duties as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter, as a friend, as a woman, as a person in the society who can help, as a teacher, as a caregiver, as anything, has to know what God wants from me in every point and do it. What the result is at the end, it's not even important. My second lesson from Imam Hussein was this, which made me to see this ayah in Quran, which is in Surah At-Tawbah. Even though this ayah was for War of Tabuk, I saw this ayah through Imam Hussein, which Imam Hussein taught to his followers. We are not required to conquer and to be victorious in the war. We can be, the fact that we have just moved, the fact that we are going after Haqq, and today you are behind your Imam. If you're killed, you're shaheed. If you win, you're victorious. If you lose, you're victorious. Ultimately, whatever God wants will happen. The fact that we are right here, that's what God wants from us. It is important what is your niyat. If you want to eat, just say, God, I will eat this so I can serve you best. Qurbatan Allah. Whatever I'm doing, it's all about niyyah, intentions. If I'm putting hijab, I'm working, I'm going to mall, I'm going whatever I'm doing, I'm eating, I'm drinking, I want to get closer to God. And this is about intention. They have told me they extended time so I can cover 3 lessons from my work. The most important part is Q&A, that I will be responsive to what we are talking in the discussion to see it will bring us clarity. The last lesson I'm talking to tonight, keeping the etiquettes and behaviors of Islam. All the followers of Imam Hussein have good behaviors. For example, in Abul Fazl Abbas, this is very obvious and very clear that he never addressed Imam Hussein as brother. He always addressed him as Mawla or addressed him as Abu Abdullah or as Imam, until the last moment that he called him Imam, called him brother. Second person that is very interesting for me is Horab ibn Yazid. And was the martyr, the great martyr of Karbala. He is in a very big place in my perceptions. His communication, talk, and interaction with Imam Hussein from very beginning, the first movement that he had, he was the person who stopped Imam Hussein. He came with 1,000 soldiers. He came to Imam Hussein and still respected Imam and says, I'm just worker and I'm just, my excuses, I'm a worker, I'm just performing my duties. He never disrespected Imam. And finally that good behavior was the cause for him to be victorious at the end and join Imam. In two places he shows his good behavior. In one place when it was the time to pray, he came and prayed behind Imam. Another time when he stopped Imam to move, Imam Hussein said, your mom be sorrow for your death, for your pain and sorrow. Your mom be sorrow for your existence. As God is my witness, I cannot take the name of your mother, except I cannot take your mother's name except in goodness, and I'm not even worthy of that because she's so great. And this good behavior and this and his resurrection and his behavior, good behavior, he became one of the most attractive stories of supplications and reservation and return. This movement of Imam Hussein until the day of judgment, everybody, Mu'mineen's hearts are all in pain and sorrow. And I hope there is no heart that doesn't feel the sorrow. The movement that was covering all generations, all people of our nations, and movement that has lessons that brings light to lives and to people's hearts, and will help us to achieve that route and go to where the movement takes us through recognizing Arba'in and Ashura, so the culture of Husseini stays alive. I ask God to place the light of knowledge and intelligence in us and make our hearts the library of Imam Hussein and Quran. God, please make our hearts and our lives fulfilled with Imam Hussein's beliefs, and we are following Quran through the Ahl Bayt.
تاشو گفتن. نه خیر، اولی که این بودش که چی بکنم؟ فهرست باچش. اولیش این بودش که این یعنی چی؟ که میگن کل یوم عاشورا کل ارض کربلا. این درس اول من بود.
درس دوم من این بود که نشد بگیم، ولی حیات واقعی از دیدگاه امام حسین علیه السلام. خیلی کویکلی به شما میگم که اون حرکت امام به من فهموند که تا من طوری زندگی نکنم توی این دنیا که ظرفیت این رو نداشته باشم، یعنی انشالله طوری زندگی بکنم که توانایی این رو داشته باشم که زندگی این دنیام رو متصل بکنم به زندگی آخرتم. این حیات is worth living. این حیات میشه حیات معقول. امام حسین علیه